In the last few months, the story has looked very one-sided. Pakistan's JF-17 is getting export orders. It's being marketed as combat-proven. It's appearing everywhere in international defense shows. At the same time, India's Tejas took a hit with the Dubai airshow crash, delays in deliveries and questions about whether it is really ready to carry the burden of real combat. So right now, it feels like Pakistan is dominating the narrative. But narratives don't win wars. Systems do. The real question is not which jet looks more successful, but can India actually defeat Pakistan in an air battle using only its indigenous fighter, the Tejas? Let's break this down properly, without patriotism and without bias. First, the design philosophy. Tejas was built as a high-quality, survivable fighter. It uses a composite heavy airframe, which makes it lighter, stronger, and harder to detect on radar. It has a delta wing that gives it excellent agility and nose authority in close combat. Its structure is designed for long fatigue life and heavy maneuvering. JF-17 was built for speed of production, cost control, and scalability. It is mostly metallic, heavier, and easier to manufacture in large numbers. It is not optimized for low radar signature, but for affordability and export readiness. So right away, Tejas is a refinement fighter. JF-17 is a production fighter. In close-range combat, this matters. Tejas has lower wing loading, better instantaneous turn rate, and better energy management. In a visual dogfight, Tejas has the aerodynamic advantage. It can point its nose faster and sustain tighter turns. With modern helmet-mounted sights and high-off-bore sight missiles, that agility can be lethal. JF-17 is competent, but it is not designed to be a pure dogfighter. It relies more on weapons and sensors than raw maneuverability. Now, sensors and electronics. Both aircraft use AESA radars. Tejas uses either the Israeli ELM 2052 or India's Uttam AESA. JF-17 Block 3 uses the Chinese KLJ-7A AESA. Both can track multiple targets and guide missiles simultaneously. Both have modern glass cockpits and helmet-mounted displays. Both have electronic warfare suites. JF-17 has an advantage in one area. It carries an IRST sensor, which allows passive tracking without emitting radar signals. Tejas does not have a built-in IRST, but relies on targeting pods and radar. However, Tejas has a very strong electronic warfare suite, and its smaller radar signature helps reduce detection range. So, in sensors and survivability, it's a near tie. Different strengths, different methods. Now we come to the most important difference. Missiles, JF-17. Block 3 can carry the PL-15. This is a long-range, air-to-air missile with a reach far beyond what most light fighters carry. Its engagement range can exceed 150 kilometers. Tejas currently carries Astra Mark 1 and IWER, which are in the 80 to 110 kilometer class. This changes everything. In a pure BVR engagement, JF-17 can fire first. Tejas must survive first. That means Tejas depends heavily on electronic warfare, smaller radar signature, support from AWACS, and networked targeting. If Tejas survives the first wave of long-range missile attacks, it has an advantage. But if it doesn't, JF-17 has a decisive advantage. Now, this is where the story stops being about who is better in the air and starts becoming about who is actually winning in the real world, because, honestly, air power is not built in the sky. It is built on factory floors. And right now, this is where Pakistan is ahead. JF-17 has been in continuous production for more than a decade. Pakistan did not wait for perfection. They accepted early versions, fielded them in numbers, and then improved them block by block. Block 1, Block 2, and now Block 3. The line never stopped. That means today Pakistan has more than 150 JF-17s, either in service or produced. They have depth, they have availability, they have operational familiarity. Tejas took the opposite route. India spent years perfecting the aircraft before committing to large numbers. The Indian Air Force demanded a higher technical baseline before accepting it. That created a better aircraft, but it also meant very slow induction. And then came the biggest problem: engines. Tejas Mk1A depends on JF-404 engines. Deliveries of those engines have been slow. Without engines, HAL cannot deliver jets, even if the airframes are ready. This is not a Tejas design failure, it is a supply chain failure. But in war planning, delays are delays, no matter the reason. So today, Pakistan already treats JF-17 as the backbone of its air force. India still treats Tejas as a growing asset, not yet the backbone. That is why, if a conflict happened tomorrow, India would rely primarily on Rafale, Su-30 MKI, and upgraded MiG-29. Tejas would support them, not lead them. Pakistan, meanwhile, would rely mainly on JF-17, J-10C, and a smaller number of F-16s. So the real balance is not Tejas versus JF-17. It is Rafale plus Su-30 plus Tejas versus JF-17 plus J-10C plus F-16. Tejas is still climbing to that level of responsibility. Now let's talk about exports, because this is where Pakistan looks like it is clearly winning. JF-17 was designed from the beginning to be sold. Low cost, fast delivery, weapons included, training included, financing options, minimal Western political restrictions. That is why Nigeria bought it, Myanmar bought it, Azerbaijan bought it, and several other countries are in talks. These countries are not buying JF-17 because it is the most advanced fighter in the world. They are buying it because it is the most accessible modern fighter in the world. It is affordable, it is available, it comes as a package, and China backs the supply chain. Tejas does not yet offer that. Tejas is more complex to sell because it uses an American engine, it uses Israeli subsystems, its production schedule is still stabilizing, and India has not yet built an aggressive fighter export ecosystem. So when Malaysia chose the FA-50 over Tejas, that was not a rejection of Tejas's quality. It was a rejection of uncertainty. Export buyers want certainty more than perfection. Right now, JF-17 wins the export market. Tejas is barely in the export race. And this is the uncomfortable truth. Pakistan is winning the fighter business war. India is still building its fighter industry. Now look at the bigger picture. Pakistan's strategy is short to medium-term dominance. Field many jets, sell many jets, stay operationally relevant, and plug into China's weapons ecosystem. India's strategy is long-term sovereignty. Build engines, build radars, build electronic warfare, build composites, build design capability, and then scale. So today, Pakistan looks ahead because JF-17 is visible, sold, and deployed. India looks slow because Tejas is still maturing. But 5 to 10 years from now, the balance can shift. If Tejas Mk1A stabilizes production, if Tejas Mk2 enters service, if AMCA follows, then India stops being a buyer of air power and becomes a full producer of it. Pakistan remains a very strong operator and exporter, but India becomes a full-spectrum aerospace power. Because in the end, the country that controls its supply chain controls its skies. Tell us in the comments who you think will win the long game. Subscribe to The Business of Things.